There is only one thing to do after you write your first book. Write another. So that's what I did. There are no answers here, only questions, was published in 2023, and soon after, I began working on what would become Taking the Long Way Home. The second book is the story of the years after the cancer treatment and the sale of my company. It begins like this.
Chapter 1. Poco a Poco. August 1st, 2010. It was the first day of August, or quarter day as my ancient Celtic ancestors called it, the day halfway between the summer solstice and autumn equinox, the time to bring in the harvest. The sale of my business of 30 years had closed on July 30th, and I had completed my last cancer treatment on July 28th. So the ordeal that had started 4 months earlier was over. It had been a painful yet reflective summer, but now it was time to move on to whatever came next, time to bring in the harvest. My food service brokerage company had been all there was for me for all these years. Well, the company and my family, of course, plus the community and all the other things that make a life. So perhaps it would be better to say that my company had been my identity. But now, with my identity gone, who was I? To find out, I would need to get back in the game. First, that meant regaining enough strength to make it through the day. All the radiation and chemotherapy I had needed to eliminate the cancer in my throat had taken its toll, and I was struggling to walk to the weathered teak bench under the tall oak in our backyard.
The story then shifts to running and cycling and swimming, culminating in my first triathlon. That's when I discovered, as I write, when you make it past age 70, it seems the competitors are few. So no matter your speed, you'll usually go home with a medal, even if it's dark when you get the medal or when you get home. After the bike crash with the Jeep CJ7 and a stay in the ICU, our story moves into part 2, where the activities become more leisurely. You learn about trips to exotic locations around the world, as well as my involvement in my adopted hometown of Charlotte. In part 3, my wife and I decide that if we want to age in place, we need to first find the right place.
Perhaps my life is like a faith that transcends faith, a belief in all beliefs that do not live in a space, a shrine or cathedral, but inside me when I let it. The oneness of all things binds us together in a way that cannot be separated, because trying to pick it apart is foolish when it's all hitched together in ways I'm only beginning to understand. Pivots should not be discouraged. They are natural and are to be lived with vulnerability and in community as we move through the thin places where heaven and earth come translucent, where we find beauty in the details and the people, because kindness is connected. It's these changes, these pivots, that make the joyful sounds of the many bracelets we wear throughout our lives, because we, you and I, are never alone in what we do. I am stronger because your story is connected to mine, just as all stories are joined. And that's the harmony, the jingle.
I encourage you to read Taking the Long Way Home. I think you'll like it. It's available wherever books are sold, as well as on Kindle and Audible.